I was running on 3 hours of sleep and gas station coffee when my brother called to remind me about the rehearsal dinner. "You're coming, right?" he asked. Not really a question. More like pressure disguised as one. "I'll be there," I said. I hung up and got back to work. My family has had the same version of me stuck in their heads since I was 19. Back then I was broke, struggling in college, working a hostess job, barely holding things together. In their minds, I never left that version. Now I'm 31. I run a small but serious investment fund. But none of that matters to them because I don't talk about it at family events. So to them, I'm still figuring it out. I went to the rehearsal dinner straight from the office. No time to change. White shirt, dark jeans, blazer. Clean but simple. The restaurant was expensive. Private room. No prices on the menu. My brother greeted me quickly, then glanced at my outfit like he was trying not to notice. The room was full of his fiancé's family, my parents, and a few friends. My mother looked me over and said, "You look tired." That meant, "You don't look like enough." Then I met her brother. He walked in like he owned the room. Expensive suit, confident, loud presence. The kind of man who doesn't expect to be questioned at dinner. He looked at me once and quickly lost interest. Later, he asked across the table, "Did you come straight from a shift or something?" I paused. "I came from work," I said. "What do you do?" he asked, then immediately turned away before I could answer. He didn't ask again all night. He interrupted me, talked over me, and treated me like background noise. When I said I worked in investment management, he nodded and said, "Neat." That was it. My family didn't correct him. They never do. I didn't argue. I didn't explain. I just finished dinner and left quietly. The next morning, my mother called. She said I should have made more of an effort and looked more presentable. Then she added that the fiancé's brother had asked about me but didn't seem convinced by what they told him. I didn't respond the way I used to. 3 weeks later, I attended the wedding. I wore a dark green gown, danced with my brother, and left early. No drama. Then things went quiet. 7 weeks later, I was in a meeting when my assistant told me someone was here without an appointment. "Family," she said. It was him, the fiancé's brother. He stood in my office, confused at first, then visibly uncertain. He said he had looked into my name after the wedding. He had heard my fund mentioned in professional circles. Now he wanted a meeting. We scheduled it properly. Documents, structure, formal process. At the meeting, he apologized for how he acted at dinner. In front of everyone. We didn't end up working together, but the conversation was professional, respectful. After that, I got a call from my brother. He was quiet for a long time. "Why didn't you tell us?" he asked. I told him the truth. I didn't think I needed to perform my life for it to be real. Another pause. "I didn't know," he said. I should have, and for the first time, I believed he meant it. Over time, things shifted. My parents started asking more questions. My father even sent me an article about my industry. My brother and I now talk regularly without pretending. Nothing exploded. Nothing dramatic changed. It just settled differently. I still don't explain my work at family dinners. I still don't try to prove anything, but I also don't shrink myself anymore. That night at the restaurant wasn't the turning point because of what he said. It was the moment I realized I didn't need to correct people who weren't actually paying attention. I showed up as I was, and that turned out to be enough.